Hey everyone, it's Jennifer, and this is the time of year when new Hero Arts stamps come out. So I'm going to be using one today, and I'm going to use it for a technique that I call stamp paper piecing. It's where you take a stamp image, stamp it a bunch of times, and then piece it together to get lots of layers of colors. Now I use glitter paper for mine, but you could use any kind of paper that you would want to for this. You could use, scrap cardstock. You could use scraps of patterned paper, but I thought this glitter paper would be fun. You can see I did some white heat embossing and then pieced it together. So let's go ahead and jump into this. I decided to use this soft glitzy glitter paper from Die Cuts with a View. Now the name kind of doesn't really describe it well. It's a very soft glitter paper. The glitter does not rub off. It's almost smooth, kind of velvety feeling. It's not like chunky glitter. It's very subtle. And I'm just going to pull out some pieces I thought might look good on a card. Then from this other stack that they have, I actually have 12 by 12 here, but it comes in 6 by 6. There's like a dark silver, so I'm going to throw that in too. But the other colors all came from the same pad. Now this paper is actually so smooth that you can stamp on it. So I have this new Nicest Thought stamp from Hero Arts. I love this stamp. I'm just going to stamp it with Versamark ink, which is a clear sticky ink. And then I'm going to shake on my favorite white embossing powder, which is the Hero Arts white embossing powder, and then I'll tap off the excess. It really does a great job embossing. However, you want to make sure that you keep your heat gun moving around so that you don't melt the glitter on the paper. I didn't have any problems with it. I just let my heat gun get really good and hot before I brought it to the paper, and I kept it moving. So you can see it embosses really nicely on here. So I'm actually going to white heat emboss this on all the different colors of glitter paper that you saw me get out before. And then I'm going to start cutting them out. So from each color, I'm going to cut a different part of the image out. So for this teal, I'm actually going to cut out the inner circle. So you'll see that I'm cutting off that banner that hangs off the edge and just cutting the inner circle out. So you could do this with any kind of papers, any kind of pattern papers, whatever you want. It would work great. Now I did white embossing. You could do black ink if that stands out better on the papers that you use. Now from the green glitter paper, I'm just going to cut out the banner that says Thoughts. Now you'll see that this paper kind of warped a little bit under the heat. If you wanted to keep it more flat, you could put it under a heavy book to flatten it out, or you could glue it to a piece of cardstock that would kind of flatten it out too. Now from the dark blue glitter paper, I'm going to cut the outside circle. So you'll see like a pop of dark blue when we assemble this all together just on the outside rim. Now here you might think I'm a little crazy because I'm going to cut each of these letters out from the dark silver embossing that we did here. Now it takes a little bit of time to cut each of these letters out, but if you think about it, sometimes you spend a lot of time coloring an image in on a card. Well, this time I'm just going to spend a little bit of time doing some fussy cutting. It really makes it worth it. If you wanted to skip this and just leave the letters as they are on the top layer, that's fine. But I think by popping these letters up, it really makes for some great dimension. So now I'm going to start gluing it together. I'm putting the teal piece with some foam dots under it onto the dark blue piece. And by the way, I cut just a piece of cardstock and put it behind the dark blue glitter paper just to give it some strength, some stability, and keep it nice and flat. So that's behind that paper there. Now for the green banner, I've put some foam dots behind it and added it on top. You can see the great dimension we're doing here. I used white foam dots here. You could use clear foam dots, which you've seen me use in videos before. To be honest with you, I couldn't find mine, so I'm just using the white foam dots. So you can see it a little bit from the side, but it really isn't much. Now for the little letters, I'm cutting my little foam dots in half so they're thinner. And you can see how easy it is to pop those little letters up onto the teal. Now that I've got that all assembled, I'm going to cut from the light silver glitter paper a banner for the background. So to cut it to a V, I do a slit right up the center and then 2 diagonal lines to meet it from the corner to the top of that cut. There we've got a great banner. Now this is where the anal part of me comes into play. Since all of the glitter paper on that stamped piece has a nice white embossed edge, I want this strip to also have that nice white embossed edge. So I'm going to take my Versamark pen, which is just a sticky ink here, and run it right along this paper. So I'm putting just a sticky line of ink right along the edge so that when I go and add some white embossing powder, I'll have this nice white embossed edge onto the strip, and then it'll match the stamping that we did, all the heat embossing that we did on that stamped piece that's on the center. So it just kind of pulls it all together. Again, I'll keep my heat gun moving. You'll see the paper warp a little bit, but if you keep the heat gun moving, you won't hurt the glitter paper and it'll work just fine. So now that I have that done, you can see that subtle little white edge on it. I'm going to add this onto a piece of Nina white cardstock. This is actually the 110-pound cardstock. That's new. and it's nice for card bases. And I'm going to add this right to the front, and you can see how all that layering really makes a big difference with the stamped image. Then I'll just cut the part that hangs off the top here, and there we have a nice stamped piece that has lots of paper piecing. Now I felt like this needed a little something to it, a little heart, so I die cut a heart from the blue glitter paper, and again it doesn't have that white edge, so I'm going to totally fake it and use my white pen to draw the edge on it. So it looked like I embossed all the way around the edge, but I totally didn't. I used my white pen. This is a great way to fill in any areas that didn't emboss well. You can see that heart ends up looking like it was embossed just like the rest of it. So there you have a fun way to kind of piece together any kind of paper from a stamped image. If you are interested in the supplies that I use, they're all linked below in the YouTube description, or you can go to my blog at jennifermcguireinc.com where I'll have much more and also some more ideas for using this stamp. If you like this video and want to see more, I would really love it if you gave me a thumbs up over in YouTube. That really helps out a lot. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll catch you in the next video.